Hey, what's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. Welcome to Sit Down. Jon Patricof's here with us. He's the CEO and founder of Athletes Unlimited. John, it's really nice to meet you. How are you?
Great to see you, DJ. Great to be here with you.
So we've seen Athletes Unlimited softball. We have Athletes Unlimited volleyball. We're going to get lacrosse. You're doing all this in a pandemic. What have the last 12 months been like for you, man?
It's been an incredible 12 months from the announcement on March 3rd of 2020 that we were going to launch Athletes Unlimited. No one really knew what to expect or what was to come. We kicked off with the softball season in August in Rosemont. It was an awesome season. 56 of the best softball players in the world came together. We've announced already season 2. And right now we're in the middle of our volleyball season and it's going awesome. We're down here in Texas, in Dallas, and the season's coming to the conclusion this weekend. And it's been awesome on the court and off the court.
What's it been like dealing with some of these challenges? Because you have the pandemic with softball, and then there's the whole power situation in Texas. I mean, this is not what you planned. So what have been some of the difficulties that you and the team have faced?
Listen, starting and working in sports is never easy. Starting a new league is especially difficult. And then doing that in the course of the past year, the pandemic's obviously such a serious issue. We had to operate in what we called a shield, so kind of like a modified bubble situation, both for softball and volleyball. Yeah, and then the weather situation in Dallas was really serious. And that was literally during the kickoff of the season. But the players were amazing. They stuck to it, incredible athletes who stay focused. And that was our job, just stay focused on what we had to do. And that's why it's such a great achievement to be coming to the conclusion this weekend and have these games and the culmination of the season. It's an awesome testament to the athletes.
One of the things I love about all your leagues is that you empower your athletes and you empower these women. And in the past, these women have not had professional experiences that have been like this. So when did you realize that there needed to be the money, there needed to be the exposure, and you needed to do it a certain way to really do it right? When did that become a real big focus for you?
That was the focus from the start. And I think you just mentioned it. In the case of both softball and volleyball, a lot of the women have played professionally around the world, even in the United States, in some cases in softball. But it was from the beginning our belief that a key element of this was creating an amazing athlete experience, both on the field and off the field. And so we've stuck to that all along the way. I think probably an example of where we're heading in the future. You may have seen this week that we announced a pregnancy policy that really puts the power in the hands of the players with respect to disclosure. And we really have committed to providing certain working conditions and accommodations. I think that's just one really big example of the way in which we've approached this all along.
I want to talk to you about that pregnancy policy because it's something that is extremely radical right now, but it's something that should just be commonplace, right? So how did you and the rest of the team come to this decision? And what does it mean to you to give this as an opportunity to your athletes here?
Yeah, I mean, first I'll say that we do everything with the athletes from the start. So, a lot of people talk about kind of giving something to the athletes. Others, to us, this is what they deserve. This is just basic good business practice. It's the right thing to do. And so we're fortunate that these athletes have agreed to play in our league, and that's the way I always view this. So the pregnancy policy is a big deal. I mean, the first part of it is putting the rights and responsibilities of disclosure in the hands of the athletes as opposed to the league. Especially around the world, you've seen a lot of examples recently, especially in volleyball, where players will notify their team that they're pregnant and then they'll get summarily, removed from the team and their contract will be canceled. Doesn't happen in the US as much. We've had some great leadership from the WNBA, but we're really excited about this pregnancy policy and really worked with the players every step of the way on developing one.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a scary enough time for women that are about to become mothers or women that are breastfeeding, right? And to have just the assurance that they're going to have the money, that's a major deal. So what's been like to see the response, not only from women across sports, but just from everybody so far?
I mean, like I said, it's been an amazing response. I mean, the volleyball players have really related these firsthand experiences of what they've experienced overseas. And, I think it's been for them just such a great sign. I think, again, across the board at Athletes Unlimited, we're so committed to working with them hand in hand. We don't get everything right, I'll be honest, right? And the key for us is how do we adjust in real time? How do we always improve things? But again, the athlete environment, both for practice, for training, for health and wellness, and then everything that happens off the court. It's a short, condensed season, but we pack a tremendous amount in. I just got off this call this morning where we brought in Mariner Wealth Advisors, which is one of the partners of the league. We had 50 athletes on this morning on a getting financially fit session. So that's the type of stuff that we're trying to do. And the athletes respond really well to that. I mean, this is the stuff you see at the NFL. This is stuff you see at big leagues. And we're trying to do that from the start at Athletes Unlimited.
It's all really incredibly important. And also, just one of the main themes here is the person outside of their sport, right? So everybody has their causes, and your frontline workers that are going to be honored this weekend. So how cool is it for you to have the focus be on the sport, but also everything else going on outside of the sport here?
I mean, for us, this is, again, first and foremost, what's happening on the court. You've seen world-class volleyball players, you've seen amazing competition, but sports is a very big part of society. It's a big part of communities, and we've recognized that. This weekend we'll honor frontline workers, clearly who always play a big part in keeping us all safe, but obviously this past year in particular. So we're really honored to be able to pay tribute to them, and in particular to pay tribute to a number of the frontline workers that are part of the players' families that are going to be playing on the court over the weekend. So I think that's a really cool aspect. We've reached out to those family members in particular, but obviously frontline workers around the country and around the world who've done so much. So that's our belief and our commitment. Our values, uplifting our athletes as civic leaders, and then obviously celebrating others in society who do great work.
Another interesting part of this whole story is the scoring system and the redrafting of teams. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is different. And, I wonder what your reaction was, because I'm sure it took some people some time. And now it's just commonplace, right? Between softball and obviously volleyball and going on with lacrosse here. But what's it been like just to see the reaction to, okay, we have this idea, people aren't really sure about it, to like, oh, now people get it and it's cool.
Yeah, my fellow co-founder Jonathan Soros was really the big driver behind the innovative scoring system, and it's been awesome. It's worked better than we expected. Coming out of softball season, we had 15 D1 programs use our unlimited scoring system in their fall scrimmages. That was incredible. And now for volleyball, we've spoken to people throughout the volleyball community, people at USA Volleyball, who's been an amazing strategic partner, and others who've said this scoring system is working far, far better than they ever could have expected. There was certainly a lot of skepticism, and especially in volleyball, which they view as the ultimate team sport. And I think people thought with this unlimited scoring system, it was all about individual play. And what they've come to realize, and the players have come to realize, which we knew all along, is that the majority of points still come from contributing to your team winning, and from team points. And that is awesome. It's an awesome combination. And we've got an awesome race at the top of the leaderboard with Jordan Larson, who's the captain of Team USA, and Betty De La Cruz, who's an incredible international superstar from the Dominican Republic, kind of fighting it out for the top spot. But all the players, some players are separated by only 1 point or 2 points. So this last weekend of play is going to have a tremendous amount on the line for everybody. And your year-end bonus depends on whether you come in first, second, but also if you're 20th or 21st, there's a difference in what you're going to get rewarded. So everybody's got a lot on the line. And I think that's the kind of hallmark of Athletes Unlimited, that every moment counts.
That's the thing I love. I mean, there's some serious money on the line here that can benefit you now and for your family going forward. And, you mentioned it before, John, there's some things that you want to try and do better, want to try and adjust. What are those big picture things as you move forward here into season 2 for softball and you conclude volleyball? What are you focused on in terms of building this thing out?
Yes. So after we conclude volleyball here in Dallas, the next league we have coming up is lacrosse in the summer. So in July, we'll kick off our lacrosse, first time we've done pro women's lacrosse, and then softball season 2. The big thing that's going to happen over the summer is we're going to welcome fans back to games. And that, I think everybody in the sports industry is excited about. I think as vaccinations ramp up and as we get further along, that's going to be the huge, exciting opportunity. And I'm particularly excited, during the softball season to welcome fans from around the country. I think Athletes Unlimited will be great for the local Chicago community, and people will be able to come see a game, easily. But I think it's going to be an awesome thing for softball fans around the country to be able to make a weekend out of it. Every weekend, we'll have 6 amazing games. Every day, every player in the league is competing, in one of the 2 games. So I think it's going to be an awesome experience for people to come in. And I'm excited for all the fans to get together in person, to get to meet each other, and really take our community to the next level.
It would be great to have that happen. John, thanks so much. Congrats on all the success, and we'll talk to you down the road. All right.
Thanks, DJ.